Hey, all right. Welcome, welcome. I think it's a terrific Tuesday. I think it's Liquid Lunch, but no, we're not in the Corona Bunker Studios in the rotting Big Apple in the middle of my living room at home. No, not quite. We are at the center of the reopened universe. We're at Max Pub right next door. We are working feverishly here on the new studios right next door to Max Pub. And I committed to these guys that, a week or so back that I was going to try to help them in any way I can, along with thousands of other Staten Islands and hundreds of thousands of people from around the country who've reached out to Keith and Dan and showed them support and sent them money. If you could, check out their GoFundMe page as Max Public House Fights for Small Business. They could use all the help they can get. As you know, there was a big press conference yesterday. Keith and Dan, the two owners of Max, spoke yesterday at the conference. They gave their side of the story. And Keith himself, the owner of Max Pub, said something that was really poignant. And they carried it on every news network. They carried it and said, Keith said, hey, man, this was my dream. I got a fiance. I got 3 kids. I work hard every day. I poured my life savings into one thing. I want to open an Irish pub. And he did. And 3 months later, governor and his arbitrary rules want to start saying that my pub can't be open. And then 6 months later, they say, well, you can open a little bit, maybe outside, maybe inside. Then he makes this crazy arbitrary orange zone. And with an orange zone, you can't have anyone in your place. You got all these other restrictions. And at some point, I think we saw yesterday, the frustration of the small business owner is boiling over the top. It's not here just in New York. And I give credit to that lady out in California who brought to light that she's got a restaurant here and she's closed. She's in an orange, no dining, no out dining, no nothing. And just 50 yards away from her place, there's a whole Hollywood set up for people to do eating and dining when they're not working and everything else. And she's just like, where is my equality? It's like a hypocrisy when I can't open and feed my family. And at the same exact time, the Hollywood elites can be over there. Now, yesterday, many of you were watching. I want to thank you for all your comments, remarks, and everything. And many people was saying yesterday that I'm fixing the camera, and we literally have the studio being painted right now. We're working on all kinds of stuff. We're bringing in new furniture, lighting, the equipment's all coming down. But I think the frustration and the sheer humanity of what's happening across the country is manifesting itself here. Okay. And as you know, Saturday night, I left Max Public House with Dan Presti. We both walked to our cars peacefully. Just before that, just a day or so earlier, there were Antifa folks outside throwing bottles at the windows, trying to break in the place. Dan's been getting death threats. And at the same time, the bungling New York City Sheriff's Office, and I don't blame them, I blame the governor, because they're not trained to do street arrests, but they had 20 sheriffs here to try to detain a guy who's 5'4", 150 pounds. It seems like he was quicker than every sheriff in New York City, or at least 1/6 of them, because there's only 125 in the whole city, and they had 20 of them here. And the main thing, if you're listening closely, I always talk about this on the show. And then there's noise. All this noise is what they put around the signal. The signal is this: little man, shut your pub and shut your mouth. And if you don't, we're coming to get you. And if you still keep going, we're coming to get your attorney, which they did. If you keep going, we're going to come get your political leaders like Andrew Lanza. And you keep going again, what we're going to do is we're going to sabotage you. We're going to ambush you. And there's only one way to quell an uprising of the peasants, and that is to turn the peasants against those who are speaking up. And if a guy hurt a cop intentionally, a lot of people would say, whoa, I can't support those guys anymore. But that's not what happened. You heard from Dan Presti himself yesterday. He said when the investigation is complete, he believes you're going to all find out he did nothing wrong. We're not doing anything wrong here, because if Saturday Night Live can have a studio going and pay people to be extras, then we could do the same. Because if the loophole's there for the big guy, it's got to be there for the little guy as well. So we'll keep you posted on that. Great, terrific Tuesday show. coming back at you right after this.